God morning. It is January 28th. God calling low ambitions. God's getting real today. God Eventide, your defender. This is a 2-pager, so strap in, grab some popcorn. Get ready. Do your thing. All right, low ambitions. Fear not. Do not fear to be busy. You are the servant of all. He that would be the greatest among you, let him be the servant of all. Service is the word of my disciples. I served indeed. The humblest, the lowliest, I was at their command. My highest powers were at their service. Be used by all, by the lowest, the smallest, how best you can serve. Let that be your daily seeking, not only best you can be served. Look around you. Do the aims and ambitions that man strives for bring peace, or the world's awards bring heart rest and happiness? No. Indeed, man is at war with man. Those whom the world has most rewarded with name, fame, honor, wealth, and are weary and disappointed. And yet, to the listening ear, above the jangle of the world's distorting cries, there echoes down the 1900 years my message: Come unto me, all ye that are weary, all heavy laden, and I will give you rest. And the weary and disappointed who listen and turn to me find indeed the rest. Joy of the weary I am, music to the heart I am, health to the sick, wealth to the poor, food to the hungry, home to the wanderer, rapture to the jaded, love to the lonely. There is not one want of the soul that I do not supply for the asking, and to you too, I long to be all. Dang. Okay, so I feel like that was very broken down. God didn't really speak to mystical like he likes to do sometimes. But the biggest thing I got from this is that as long as you work, your work is going to work for you. Your work works. Working hard should not be frowned down upon. Living a life where you're serving and you're loving other people and you're being respectful and kind to the Lord is a life worth living. So many people now in our technological age think that if you're not big, if you're not famous, if you don't have a following, if you're not influential, if you're not super rich, then what's the point of living? You're just like some NPC. Like that term is thrown around so much these days. An NPC, like that is like such a big thing right now. And people think that if you're not like main character, then you're useless, right? You're just like living in someone else's world. But that is completely false. God is saying right here that those are all man-made things. Those are all accolades given and created by man, for man, in that man's competition. But heaven is no competition. We are all born on this earth deserving of heaven, deserving of love, and deserving of God, right? And so all God is saying is work. Your service is the word of my disciples. When Jesus was on this earth, he worked. He did sermons. He did all these different things. His disciples worked. People created the Bible. Like that work, that hard work is what builds and is the foundation of everything that is good on this planet and everything that is good that God did. God worked for 6 days and then rested for 1. So it's very important to work. Work hard, guys. Nothing in life should come easy to you that's worth anything, right? If it comes easy, then what's the point? If it's wealth that you're looking for, fame, honor, it's just gonna leave you disappointed. Like all those people, all those rich people, they're not always happy because they're always just like it's like there's a cavity in their heart because they're like not really doing anything. They feel like everything they have done is useless because to an extent it is, because that's just things made by man, things that are upheld in society. So that's basically what God's saying here. If you guys are people who just want to stick to one thing and are hard workers and are dedicated to the Lord and to who you are, that is an amazing thing to be. God Eventide, you're a defender. I am the gift of God to man. Only so was it possible for man to know God the Father. Only so is it possible for man to know that he had ever an advocate with God, the sinless Christ. There's always one who understands your case, whose appeal cannot fail to be heard. He has the right of sonship. He has a right to plead for you. If he can plead for an offending man, undertaking full responsibility for him, what better advocate could you have? He knows. He has seen the tears of sorrow, the heartache and temptation. He can plead as none other. His own temptation was so real that, conqueror as he was, he can yet feel the tenderest pity for the vanquished. He knows how seeming fair evil can appear, and he can estimate that added burden of tainted blood, inherited weakness and sin. He gave his only begotten Son. The great gift am I, your friend, your companion. Leave all to me, your advocate, trained during my years on this earth to plead, never for myself, but for everyone who rests his cause in my hands. That is amazing. The way God wrote that is like so brilliant. So God Eventide, your defender. So basically what this is talking about is God, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's talking about the Holy Trinity here, or just God, if you just want to say that. But the way he does is amazing. It basically describes Jesus' life and what Jesus did on this planet. And then at the end, it does like a little bait and switch. He gave his only begotten son. This great gift am I your. So God is like in those first 3 paragraphs that we read, he talks about everything Jesus did. His own temptation was so real that conqueror as he was, he can yet feel the tenderest pity for your vanquished. If he had pleaded for an offending man, undertaking full responsibility for him. So it's basically just saying who Jesus was and how he was. Because and one of the biggest things about Christianity that's different from like Judaism is that we believe Jesus is God, and that's what it's saying right here. So it makes you think that it's talking about Jesus, and then that last line, he gave his only begotten son, the great gift am I your. So it's talking about God here, but it's all the actions that Jesus did because they're one and the same. And then those last couple lines, friend, your companion, leave all to me, your advocate, trained during my years on earth to plead, never for myself, but for everyone who resists his cause in my hands. So guys, it's basically just, this is going over Jesus' life and how God and the Holy Spirit are in you. And that's the big thing I got from that. But this is really just going over who Jesus really is and what he really does for you on a daily basis. So that is January 28th. Love you guys. I hope you guys learned something. And with that, I will say amen.